Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bold and Beautiful. Today, Taylor and Deacon make a promise to Electra and will get a shock. Spoilers for Tuesday, February 3's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Will Spencer and Electra Forrester Finnegan will receive a surprise. On Tuesday's B&B show, Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp will also make a commitment, so let's discuss what to expect. To begin with, Taylor might give Deacon a call and stop him from ending his relationship with Sheila Sharp. For the time being, Sheila won't know anything about Deacon and Taylor's romance, but things are going to get more complex. If Taylor keeps dating Deacon, Steffi Forrester Finnegan is threatening to cut her off from their family. Although Taylor doesn't want to lose Deacon, she also doesn't want to lose Steffi and her grandkids. Deacon will question how they should part ways given their feelings for one another when Taylor meets with him to explain the circumstances. Deacon and Taylor will ultimately pledge that they will find a way to be together. Taylor and Deacon are determined to find a solution, even though it might take some time. Until then, there will undoubtedly be occasional amorous moments between Taylor and Deacon. Deacon and Taylor will be too irresistible to ignore, no matter how hard they try to avoid one another. Carter Walton will view some of the new designs that RJ Forrester has been working on at Forrester Creations. Carter might be impressed and concur with Brooke Logan Forrester that RJ and Rich Forrester should collaborate on couture. When RJ visits the Forrester office, she will eventually run straight into Dylan. As they introduce themselves, Dylan and RJ will appear interested, so we'll see if this new relationship develops into a romantic relationship or even a cunning partnership. In any case, Ivy Forrester is banking on Dylan to tell Electra and Will the news while feigning to have a job out of town. Will and Electra will receive some unexpected developments, according to B&B spoilers. Will Dylan comply with Ivy's demands and sell her false narrative? There will undoubtedly be some twists and turns because Sydney Bullock is under contract and will continue to play. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Dylan will eventually remain in Los Angeles, so perhaps RJ has something to do with it. Taylor and Deacon make a promise to Electra and will get a shock. One of those infrequent episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful that subtly starts with emotional undertones before exploding relationships, allegiances, and futures is the one that aired on Tuesday. For some, what begins as cautious hope turns into a moment of devastating realization. For example, Electra and Will are caught off guard by a truth that neither of them anticipated, while Taylor and Deacon cross a line by making a vow that could change their lives forever and arouse Steffi's worst fears. The day at Forrester Creations starts with a tense silence that only lasts until everything falls apart. Despite her best efforts to concentrate on her work, Electra comes early. 4 days, she and Will have been tense because of unanswered questions, partial answers, and a feeling that something is being purposefully withheld from them. Both of them have experienced it. The slight change in how they are perceived by others, the conversations that end suddenly when they enter a room, and the whispers that fade too soon. Although Electra tries to tell herself she's dreaming, she knows in her heart that she is not. In this family, as in this city, secrets are never kept hidden for very long. Moments later, Will joins her, feeling just as uneasy. He makes an unsuccessful attempt to lighten the atmosphere. Between them, there's a sense that whatever is about to happen won't just be inconvenient, it will change their lives. Electra gets a shiver as Katie abruptly calls them both to a private meeting. Dramatics are not Katie's speciality, and when she gathers people together, it usually indicates a serious situation. Will feels it too, and in a rare display of vulnerability, he reaches for Electra's hand. They have no idea that this encounter will drastically alter how they view each other and their past. Katie doesn't squander time. With a serious yet determined attitude, she shuts the door and breaks the shocking news. Something has come to light that directly affects Electra's identity and Will's future, and it can no longer be kept a secret. The words don't fully register at first. As Katie meticulously lays out the truth, connections, timelines, and decisions made long before Electra ever set foot in Los Angeles, Electra finds it difficult to comprehend what she is hearing as her mind races to keep up. Will's expression darkens as insight sets in. It's not only what they are finding that shocks them, but also who knew and choose not to tell them. Electra senses a change in the ground beneath her. Suddenly, everything she believed to be true about her life seems brittle, like a narrative penned by someone else. When Katie hesitates, it becomes painfully clear that she is demanding to know who else is involved. Silence, not malice, is what makes the betrayal so painful. Will responds in a different way, initially becoming enraged as his natural desire to defend Electra clashes with his perception of being duped. For him, the shock is existential rather than merely emotional. Truths he was never permitted to know suddenly feel like a threat to his decisions, relationships, and even his status within the family. As Electra tries to gather herself, she understands that this information not only impacts her past but also poses a threat to her future. Every accomplishment and every relationship now bears the burden of uncertainty. She questions whether the life she has created was ever truly hers and who she really is. Despite his own struggles, Will tries to comfort her. He is forced to face difficult issues like loyalty, trust, and the price of keeping family secrets hidden as a result of the discovery. When the conference is over, they both leave altered, shocked, scared, and painfully aware that nothing will ever be easy again. Taylor and Deacon, meanwhile, are at a crossroads of their own creation across town. What started off as circumspect exchanges and moments of intimacy has developed into something more profound, something that neither of them can deny. They know that what they are going to do will cause shockwaves in their families, so they meet in a discreet, quiet place away from prying eyes. There is a lot of risk, history, and emotion in the air between them. Both of them are aware of how contentious their relationship is, how many boundaries it breaches, and how strongly Steffi has cautioned against this very result. Taylor's heart is divided between wanting peace and not wanting to make the same mistakes she has in the past. Deacon is honest, sincere, and keenly aware of what he stands to lose. For once, he isn't pretending or dodging. He acknowledges that his relationship with Taylor is about more than just romance. It's about atonement and demonstrating to both her and himself that he can change. Taylor listens, caught between the woman who feels seen and understood for the first time in years and the doctor who recognizes the perils of emotional dependence. The pivotal moment occurs when Taylor accepts the reality she has been avoiding. Escaping this won't make it go away. Denying the sentiments has simply made them more intense. They are genuine. Sensing that she is losing her willpower, Deacon makes an unusual offer. A commitment rather than a large gesture. A commitment to integrity, moderation, and shared responsibility. He asks her to choose truth over fear, not to choose him over her family. Taylor gives a similar response. She makes a commitment of her own, one that is very important. She assures them that it won't be careless or covert. No more facades. No more hiding. They freely confront whatever comes next, repercussions and all. It's a private, peaceful, and deeply significant time. By making this commitment, they commit themselves not only to one another but also to a future that will require bravery that neither of them is certain they have. They had no idea that Steffi's darkest worries are becoming more and more genuine. Even though she isn't there for the promise, she is already tense due to the conflict between her mother and Deacon. The lack of control gnaws at her, and she feels as though something irrevocable is happening. Steffi has put in too much effort to keep her family safe from chaos to watch while another risky relationship develops. When she eventually finds out about this commitment, it will feel like a declaration of war rather than just betrayal. The fallout has already started at the end of Tuesday's program. Will struggles with rage toward the very people he once defended, while Electra, reeling from the truth, wonders if she can trust anybody around her. Their astonishment leaves gaps that others could rapidly take advantage of. Simultaneously, Taylor and Deacon's vow initiates a series of events that might potentially engulf Steffi, Sheila, and the entire family. With revelations revealed, pledges cemented, and ramifications looming big, the episode ends on a terrifying note. Taylor and Deacon move on together, fully aware that their commitment might either rescue them or destroy all they hold dear, while Electra and Will stand on the brink of a new reality, unsure and terrified. One thing is evident as the screen turns black. Tuesday, February 3rd not only modifies relationships but also reshapes the battlefield. Carter Walton is impressed by R.J. Forrester. Additionally, Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes disregard prudence. Discover what will happen next in the CBS soap opera by continuing to read. The Solution of Ivy Forrester. First, let's talk about Ivy Forrester. Fans watched as the woman's illness prevented her from traveling with Electra Forrester. But she was looking through windows at the beach home that very evening. The woman occurred to catch Dylan falling into the lap of Will Spencer, Crew Morrow. Ivy went over to Dylan and gave her some money. It is now Dylan's responsibility to fill up her petrol tank and continue driving till she runs out. Read this. Next 3 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Steffi's plan backfires, Katie goes too far, and new romantic messes. Dylan's surprising news. Dylan would never want to take a chance on Electra's anger. The girl's admiration for Electra is constant. She therefore plans to accept Ivy's offer. Dylan actually visits Forrester Creations to bid Will and Electra farewell. But don't count on Dylan making much progress. Sparks erupt when the girl physically runs into RJ Forrester, Taylor Hayes' dangerous choice. According to spoilers for tomorrow's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Deacon and Taylor will be adamant about being together. Taylor declared that Deacon must divorce Sheila Carter Sharp and disregarded her medical oath. They kissed after exchanging the L word. Deacon and Taylor wish to be together. Nevertheless, Steffi Forrester Finnegan will not tolerate that. Furthermore, will Deacon ever reveal the truth to Sheila Carter Sharp? Carter Walton was impressed. RJ's sketches are also included. RJ will present a few of his recent sketches. Carter would be so amazed that he might make an offer. Will Carter propose that RJ create the bridal dress for Daphne Rose? That might inspire the males to create a new fashion line with a wedding theme. Deke Sharp hasn't been seen in a long time either. Thus, it is possible that he will appear in scenes tomorrow. What became of the conversation between Deke and Katie Logan Spencer regarding the fashion house? I am aware that Eric Forrester is the principal designer at the moment, but that is only meant to be temporary, so keep an eye out. Steffi intervenes as Deacon's truth is about to explode. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers document that Steffi Forrester Finnegan wants to protect her mother. But Taylor Hayes has a rebound crush on Deacon Sharp that seemingly puts many people in Sheila Carter Sharp's retaliation path. Rich Forrester dropped Taylor last year after agreeing to remarry her. While Budig's character made a rushed push for that reunion, Rich shares blame for allowing their reconnect to go as far as it did. General Hospital. Charlotte's revenge on Nina. Plots to expose guilty Willow. Video player is loading. Play video. Meanwhile, Steffi recently became aware that her mother was incredibly involved with Deacon. The naive approach that Taylor and Deacon are taking in being together has blocked them from seeing that Sheila's wrath is unavoidable. So, Steffi will forcefully warn her mother to end it with Deacon. But emotion generally overrides logic when it comes to matters of the heart. Brooke Logan Forrester got what she wanted. It's been a staple of this soap for decades. Taylor wants Ridge. He'll give her time when a blowout with Brooke Logan Forrester inevitably happens. Then, he scurries back to his Logan, not meaning Katie Logan Spencer's, Heather Tom, emerging fashion house. Brooke is used to getting Ridge back because she's done it many times before. After their initial divorce, they've remarried an unbelievable 8 times. What type of couple would be married a total of 9 times? A kind assessment would say that true love wins. A balanced critique would label Rich, Brooke, and their mashed togetherness, which is known as Bridge, as dysfunctional. Steffi Forrester Finnegan wants to protect her mother. Taylor would have saved herself from additional heartbreak if she had read The Soapy Room in recent years. The recast to Budig implied that a fresh take on the Taylor-Ridge relationship was coming. The above was realized, but it took Taylor being diagnosed with broken heart syndrome, Ridge convincing himself that he could break from Brooke, and Lang's character securing her destiny again. Steffi didn't want her mother to be hurt when reconciling with her father. Yet, that happened. Now, Steffi is desperate to prevent her mother from being targeted by Sheila. This is hardly a far-fetched prediction due to Sheila's violent history. But the pull Deacon and Taylor have toward each other is preventing the logical parts of their brains from being influential. Deacon Sharp has convinced himself otherwise. Deacon decided that enough was enough after he learned that Luna Nozawa was alive. He used that specific plot line as a jumping-off point. A segment of the audience may think that the Deacon-Taylor storyline was only possible because Kanan's character was written to overreact. However, one must suspend disbelief often in daytime so that the unlikely flows. That's what Deacon is doing. He's choosing to suspend his belief, thinking that Sheila will be mad and then get over it. How often has Brown's notorious villain ever done that? Marrying Deacon stabilized Sheila. Withholding information about Luna was something Deacon could have worked through with a therapist other than Taylor. But viewers have suspended disbelief about Deacon's choice then as well.